this is a quick step-by-step tutorial for Alberti basses, and we're going to play this gorgeous spot, but of course feel free to apply all these strategies to other similar spots. So that's approximately it. I'm working on a comprehensive course on building your technique or rebuilding your technique if you want to optimize it, which will be suitable for all levels of piano players. That's why please subscribe, follow me, and don't miss a pre-sale phase of this course, which will come with a huge discount. In order to practice this left hand, we're going to mostly play it mezzo forte in order to make sure that we support all the fingers properly. This is important because if you support your finger at the bottom of the key, you have better chances of relaxing the previous finger. So what we're going to do first is to play it really slowly and making sure that we transfer the weight of the hand. Left, right, 100% from finger to finger, relaxing the previous fingers fully. And this is essential because a huge amount of problems in piano playing is caused by under-supporting the thumb. When your thumb is kind of like hanging in the air and it's kind of lighter and you don't really trust it, so then you accumulate a lot of tension in the hand. So the first thing is to fix that, to transfer the weight fully, making sure that your thumb is as confident, as supported as the other fingers. So each time you play a key, you feel how the whole arm hangs on this particular finger. I don't push the keys stronger than necessary, but I want to feel that support. So we go through the whole spot multiple times, making sure that we can achieve that sensation, all the way to a moderately fast tempo, let's say. And always mezzo forte, making sure that we get a nice, supported, solid, even sound. And here we already have started to develop a forearm motion where we would deliver fingers, not just lifting them and pressing them down, but rather rotating the forearm left, right, left, right. But those motions, of course, have to be really tiny. So our fingers always stay at the surface of the keys. So you see, as soon as I go to the thumb, my other fingers relax completely, but they are at the keys. They're really close. So I minimize those motions now. So now let's go through the whole spot, concentrating specifically on that rotational sensation and being really close to the keys with all the fingers. So we go through the whole spot like this multiple times. As soon as you feel comfortable with this, we go to the next learning strategy. And what is important to know about this kind of technique is that we have a combination of motions. So we have not just a forearm rotational motion, we also have some so-called motions in and out. And I would suggest you to practice it now, concentrating on this specific motion. And for this, we are going to play all these fingers, longer fingers, on the motion in the keyboard, like this. So your arm goes forward. What is important about this motion is that your wrist should not go up. So the wrist remains in the neutral position. Should be able to bounce a little bit around, closely to the key level, all the times. Instead, while going in the keyboard, you activate this knuckle, fighting for this stability in this joint and stability in the nail joint so that it doesn't bend backwards. Yeah? If it's something you struggle with, just practice it slowly, concentrating on this and developing this strength in your fingers, and gradually it will come over time. The most important, just to keep it in mind whenever you practice. So whenever we have those fingers, we go in the keyboard, and whenever we have a thumb, we go out When we go out, it's like you want to pull your keys a little bit closer to yourself. This kind of pulling motion. We don't slide through the key, but just kind of feeling the friction between the finger and the key, and like hanging on it, pulling back a little bit. So let's do it really slowly. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. When you go in, the A sensation is like you step on a ladder a little bit. You step on a scale. And step back. Step on, step back. So a little bit of that kind of sensation. But of course minimizing it, so it will be really tiny then. So I use this motion in order to make sure that my knuckle bridge doesn't collapse here. So this is how you practice also many times in a row, many days in a row, just concentrating on this particular motion. And also what is really important about it is that all the motions which we do are surgically precise. So I don't practice like this, because this is like rounded, sloppy something, and I want to time my motions well. And even when playing really slowly, I do the motion while I hit the key, and I just rest in that position. And as soon as I go to the next key, I do the motion and I rest here. So there are no motions between the hits when you play slowly. So you practice like this until you can play it on this motion in a moderately quick tempo. So when you practice concentrating on a rotational motion and on motions in-out, then your hand will kind of feel the ratio which suits you between these motions, because some people would use like 30% in-out and 70% rotation. Some people would use like 30% rotation, 30% finger activity, and 30% in-out motions. So it's a little bit different for each player. Yeah, but after a while, your hand will feel like your perfect mix. That's why it's so useful to actually concentrate on one motion at a time. The next step is to push the tempo, but in very short groups, by, for example, playing it in dotted rhythms. Making sure that this rhythm is very even, very sharp, pa-pa, 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 and that you accent each note equally. So this is like a gym for your fingers, basically. Then oppositely. And still feeling how you transfer the weight very quickly. So it's like a sensation that you throw the weight of the hand from left to right very quickly, very like forcefully. And as soon as you land on a longer note, free up everything. So also this is a great exercise to be able not only to press the keys quickly, but also to relax, to free up the fingers as quickly. Then we play in groups of 4 notes. Also freeing up quickly as soon as you reach the last note. Then groups of 4 notes starting from the second 16th note. And making sure that everything is super precise. So we want the ultimate quality when we practice like this. So practice with some ambition as well. And if you have practiced all this diligently, step by step, then at this point you will feel yourself much better, like incredibly much better. And after only a few days, you will be able to play it not only faster, but also lighter. Just remember that when you play it lighter, you nevertheless have to shift the weight of the hand left, right to make sure that your thumb is supported enough. So that's essential. And then, even then, when you already have mastered a piece and when you have already learned how to play it quickly and softly, nevertheless, time to time you might want to do the maintenance work and just play it slower and on mezzo forte, because it helps you to reinforce those habits. So that's a good maintenance routine, to also use these learning strategies sometimes in order to maintain this type of technique. So thanks for watching this and see you next time.